Go back to the portfolio, and then we have another trade of SSO, which is the buying the S&P, and that was on February 22nd. Again, another very good decision. Got stopped out pretty quickly. And another one he did also were some sort of small stocks, small sort of a penny stocks here, which is pink sheets, symbols right here. And that was on a December 30th, November 2nd, October 29th, sort of like the end of the year. You can see the Enterprise 140 for SBOTF here. SBOTF, $1.40 entry, and here we go, $1.40 entry. And we have a right now trading at 0.84. It's about 60% loss or something like that. So I mean, oh, take it easy, and there was no really decision to maybe even like sell it here when it was a little bounce or something, just kind of waiting and adding to the losing game. Well, he mentioned it's going to be volatile in that, but there are some other examples I'll show you that he simply just didn't collect the profits. Didn't he could at least sell part of that and collect some profits on the other ones, like let's say on the EWPMF here, which was bought 0.95. Right now we're trading here. So I'm gonna go back. Sorry, just to make sure that I have the result. EWPMF. Okay. So here we go. Well, it's trading about almost the same, but if you go to a yearly chart, there was a peak here, which we could collect nice profit right here. Large profit. I mean, we're talking about large profit. I mean, this thing just shoot up straight. So why didn't we just sell it here? Okay, when the was sort of like reaching that's sort of a little pattern here, which didn't reach the same sort of high, and kind of a W pattern sort of, and we could just sell it here. Just maybe put stop right here at 150, and you can still collect a nice profit out of this. Well, it looked like probably 50% profit. Nice. But no, he's still there in the trade, no signals for the members, nothing going on. Going back to portfolio, another good one example is RKF, so sorry. It says bought at 70 cents. 70 pennies here, so we go back to MLRKF, okay, and here we go. I can't even say that. But anyway, going back to that, it's a sort of hanging there. Well, could be sold at almost $1 here. Okay, let's say 90, and you could have put a stop right here, or maybe here, and still have some profit. Okay, maybe 10, 20%, and just get out of this trade. Just watching the market, seeing the market is kind of wobbling around and kind of trading in a range. Just get out from this trade. But no, he's still holding to that and just hoping that something's going to happen. Adding actually, let's see, mention in his alerts to this trade. Well, not very good money management also as well. Like I said, the mental stop, break-even stops. Why not to sell it when it's higher? The mental stops, which are not very good in many cases. Just money management is also based on simply a tight approach to your portfolio, and just mitigate the losses as much as you can, and try to at least collect the profits on, let's say, by selling half of your position when the particular investment goes up enough for you to actually have some profit. And he just didn't do it very well, and you pay $60 or $59 a month to just get that kind of not a very good advice here, and not very timely advice. As I mentioned again, it was some trades were happening in the last minutes before market closing, and often he also added to those losing trades, sort of like the dollar, kind of hoping that this is gonna bounce, and well, it didn't. And the full position we got step out, and that's pretty much the story here. And the consistency of good trading is there's not here. It's just not very well. And I've noticed that many membership-based services like that, once they get into membership, you kind of try to keep your members. So you kind of promise to members, yeah, something's going to happen. Yeah, it's going to improve. Yeah, we're going to make good profits on this. So yeah, now the market is establishing a new trend. It's going to be better. Then it's like constant promises just to keep the members in the damn membership sort of continuity program, which is really nice profit for these people who kind of get lazy in the process and just base their profits more on the memberships. They're really conducting good trading and being, let's for example, StackTiger.net, which has an excellent free service that delivers much better videos, much better portfolio, and also weekly newsletters. Every weekend, Sunday, you get a newsletter with various detailed chart analysis and the daily updates, tweets, and it's like, I mean, I can't even believe that somebody can do it free and do it so well and have great systems that really actually make money. And then you pay here on other services up to $300 or more, who actually make you lose a lot of money in the process, not only for the membership but also for your trades. And another thing that's mentioned in his videos, he's like probing the market of these trades. Well, I don't think it's a good idea to probe the market, especially we're not probing with full positions here. It's not really a probe. Neither here. There was a three-quarter position probing. I mean, come on. I think he's probably joking or something about probing and kind of rather than having a patience and just simply wait for certain trends to establish. There's always good excuses he has in his videos or his alerts. You know, I really don't like those excuses very much. It's kind of like, yeah, whatever. But you can just check it yourself. And if you're interested, really hear those excuses. I really don't have time here to go through that. And so basically, he's not listening to the market. So he's making those assumptions, hopes, kind of guesses, and educated or less educated guesses, and he's not listening to the market, which really, as a traders, we should be listening to that. Going back to the front page here, I would say right here, going to the next, we went through this sort of a review of his previous trades, and then we have his alert system. You can see the market kind of commentary, we call it, and there are certain things you can read here, and there is not really educative very much. I mean, it's just small little observations you can make yourself. Just with the chart, you can observe more than he does. And well, here is trade alert. Okay, we'll see what happens here. And chart analysis, kind of basic. He uses like maybe a couple of indicators here on the bottom, as you can see. Basically, the put to call ratio, and also the often he uses the advanced declines, and just basically basic averages here, crossing averages or just bouncing off averages, but really not being very good with that, or precise. We would say kind of also a lot of his predictions here or assumptions as he did not really work out very well, and that's what he's kind of like a short-term looking at the sort of like a short-term patterns, but without really understanding the whole picture, and jumping the gun, as I would say. Yeah, do or die day. Well, I've heard it from him like several times before on a specific alerts here and before, and well, I don't know if it's a do or die, but what happened before, and he jumped into the trade and it really didn't work again and got stepped out. So I don't even pay attention to this anymore, to this do or die thing. You can see all their posts here. As we go to the his conclusions here on some of those, as I mentioned, those risky penny stocks, and he still wants to add to that, and is of course putting protective stop and all this nice stuff, but really he's not really again listening to the market. And like for example, in many cases he blamed the let's say the announcement of Bernanke, or there was a Fed's announcement that day, or there was a Egypt riots, or there was warships in somewhere, I don't even know where. And very often in his videos you can hear, or his posts as well. I'm not going to go for all of this. I wish I had time for it, but you can see those excuses about here as a matter of fact, he's kind of like, sort of mentioning the Egypt again, and today we have mentioned the tsunami, so it's like, well, okay, tsunami, okay, what does it, well, it has some influence, but why to mention that really? I mean, it's just the part of the, like, look at the charts, look what's going on here. And basic charts that he lists is like resistance level here, here is the support, and which didn't work very well at all on the dollar trade, for example, UUP and things like that. You can see some older posts here as well. Just very basic analysis. I mean, nothing really great here. And dollar bounce here looked like it could work out, but as a matter of fact, it did not, because if you look at the sort of a chart for a dollar, which we have right here, and let's look at the UUP, which is the ETF for that. Let's look at the 5 days. Well, it doesn't really quite look like it's doing something right now. Well, so we'll see. The time will show. But again, it's kind of a presuming sort of things here, and it's going ahead too much of himself. Here is the sort of videos he posts. So let's say for today we have the Japan tsunami, Hawaii this, dollar pressure on this, as usual kind of dollar this pressure, and then the metals putting pressure on dollar, and market kind of like the same comments over and over in a different versions. And then you have the basic analysis right here.
It sent a
You can hear him talking about it, about advanced declines, which flips back and forth over last month, of course. Flip a little bit.
So stocks are slowly starting to roll over, and last week we
the rollover thing we've heard like many times before in other videos.
And we'll see it flip to the upside. It really depends
on the
weekly chart that the U.S. dollar broke down. Instead, U.S. dollar is now stair-stepping.
Just very basic analysis, nothing exciting here.
Move down.
No really long-term view or Fibonacci, even though which some people follow. Of course, it's not a perfect system, but like nothing. But there's some mentioning of some other things.
Yesterday we saw a big pullback in crude oil. This morning we're actually seeing average. It's still trading just, and probably see it start to have a feeling it will reverse and continue. It closed way below the 50. See a bit of a drift up. I wouldn't be surprised if
I wouldn't be surprised.
Just kind of
I've heard it many times. It doesn't work very well. But anyway, sorry, but it kind of makes me laugh right now. But it's kind of like seeing the same story over and over again, and they're not delivering the performance that we expect from professional trader. So you can see this alert system here sending by email, and also the website that makes a little bell when the new post is made here. And then we go to the little mini course trading, which is really nothing. There are a few things, really very little for someone who's just starting. I mean, we don't even have gotten much out of this. And then we have a trading calendar, which is really, I mean, you can find it for free on the internet. I mean, what's the big deal here? There are much better free services. And the portfolio, which I mentioned before and showed you also as well. Nothing exciting there. And that's pretty much it, I would say. I would also mention some other sister sites here, technicaltraders.com, which also shows the other partners sort of in this, partners in crime. And here's the expert, another expert, Mr. David, and some other experts. Well, we'll see what kind of expertise we get here. So far, not such a great expertise, I've noticed, and sincerely, from my personal experience, I do not recommend this service at all, and I would rather stick with some free services like Stock Tiger and many others. There's too many to mention names. My favorite is actually StockTiger.net. And I'm not advertising Stock Tiger. There's nothing to gain there. It's a free service, so really, but that gives you much more detail and good information for your, as also great analysis for beginning traders as much as advanced traders. It will stretch your trading to the new sort of dimension. And there's also more here. We can see the market and forecast. So this is sort of like a chain of websites kind of delivering services. This is by Dave Bannister, so it's one of his partners sort of. Then we have active trading partners here. It's like, wow, amazing how many different things here are involved. I don't know which one's really making money or not, but again, the kind of similar situations, recent positions, trades, I'm very suspicious about this here. Again, it's like, look, everything looks great on the front, and once you get in, it just doesn't work, and there's no refunds, okay? And so I want to warn you about that as well, okay? And the market trend forecast, I'm not sure if we went through this. I think we did. But anyway, thank you for listening. I hope they will help you with your decisions, deciding what service or whatever advice you're picking up to help you with your trading. And again, my experience was very negative in a way, very nervous sort of, and I really hope that this expert advice would help me with making my decisions. It kind of confused me more, actually. As a matter of fact, I made more money using free services and also just my own trading and my own diligence and research and my own knowledge of the charts than any of these paid services, especially this one here. It just didn't really work very well at all. Well, I hope that it will help you with making your decisions, and also to warn you about certain advisors, or there's not really a perfect system again, but it comes down to the money management. There's a lot of promises in some of these websites, and there's not really not delivered. And neither the money management, which is mentioned as one of the main things every trader should know about, is not really existing very well here, or is not executed well. And have a great trading, and I hope to it will help you with all your future decisions. And I'll talk to you soon. Bye bye.